object!
And why is that?
Because it's devastating to my case!
Overruled.
Good call!
What's up, it's your boy, Benny. I am proud to report to you that there is justice for social justice. Democrats Jussie Smollett is going to prison. He will be spending 150 days in the Cook County Jail, one of the worst jails in the nation. Jussie Smollett will be locked up there because he's a charlatan who lied and who deprived resources from the police in Chicago as he made up a racial fake hoax crime story. Of course, you know the entire story of Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett, a clear lunatic and sociopath. He was out on appeal. He only served a few days in prison, and now he is going back. An Illinois appeals court has ruled that Jussie Smollett will go back to prison. He has now exhausted all opportunities for him to be let out of jail, and he is heading directly into jail now. Now, we were entertained very much so by the judge and his ruling on Jussie Smollett. The judge in the case said that Jussie Smollett is a charlatan who deserves prison. Watch this.
And what happened? Turns out that you're not a victim of a hate crime. You're not a victim of a racial hate crime. You're not a victim of a homophobic hate crime. You're just a charlatan pretending to be a victim of a hate crime. And that's shameful, especially from the family you got brought up with your family values.
Of course, the best coverage at the time was Tucker Carlson, who showed the absolute meltdown that Jussie Smollett had, screaming, "I'm not suicidal." Again, the guy is a complete sociopath. You have to be to lie with such deep aggravation and then to tell everyone that you're still innocent, even though that you still have all the evidence, the checks, everyone testifying against you. The Ossendaro brothers, all of it. Check this out.
So it's time to wrap up the Jussie Smollett saga. Smollett was in court today to be sentenced in Chicago. He was convicted, as you well know, of staging a fake hate crime, blaming Trump voters after he paid people to assault him. This afternoon, his family cited the war in Ukraine, as well as COVID, as reasons Jussie Smollett should receive a light sentence. Inventive. Did it work? Fox's Matt Finn is covering for it. Us in Chicago. Hey, Matt.
Hi, Tucker. A short while ago, Jussie Smollett reacted very loudly in court, standing up and shouting after he was sentenced to 150 days in jail. Here is Jussie Smollett moments ago in court.
You will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail, and that will start today, right here, right now.
I am not suicidal.
Okay?
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that.
I am not suicidal!
Stop laughing about Black.
I am not suicidal! And I am innocent! I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
Judge James Lynn roasted Smollett just before he sentenced him to 150 days in jail, probation, restitution, and fines. Judge Lynn told Smollett that Smollett's name has now become an adverb for lying, pulling a Jussie. The judge said he cannot think of anything worse than that. The judge also telling Smollett that his hypocrisy is astounding because Smollett and his entire close-knit family are known for their social justice work. The judge telling Smollett he has a profoundly dark, arrogant side that betrayed social justice. Judge James Lynn said he arrived at 4 aggravating factors that had influenced his sentencing. Number 1, Smollett's extreme premeditation. Number 2, Smollett caused pain to real hate crime victims. 3, damage to the city of Chicago. And 4, the judge says Smollett lied and perjured himself on the stand for hours and hours. Smollett's defense team read aloud multiple letters requesting mercy written by Jesse Jackson, Black Lives Matter, the Illinois Innocence Project, and Samuel L. Jackson. Smollett's defense team immediately asked for today's sentence to be overturned. The judge immediately denied it, saying the wheels of justice are turning. Tucker.
It's all so great. Matt Finn for us from Chicago. So Jussie Smollett is worried he's going to get Epsteined while in jail. Did he offend Hillary Clinton somehow? Not that we know of. We'll watch the story carefully. We do remember that back in February 2019, when this whole thing began, a lot of people had doubts that Jussie Smollett was in fact attacked by racist Trump voters. But shut up, he said. Anyone who doubts his story is a bigot. Remember?
If I had said
it was a Muslim or Mexican or someone black, I feel like the doubters would have supported me a lot more. And that says a lot about the place that we are in our country right now. The fact that we have these fear mongrels, these people that are trying to separate us, and it's just not okay.
It's really the greatest clip ever. So first you have Jussie Smollett attacking the fear mongrels, not the purebred fear people, but the fear mongrels. And then you have Robin Roberts, the highest paid person on television, saying, beautiful, Jussie, beautiful. But is it beautiful? Jason Whitlock has watched the whole thing. He's the host of Fearless, and we're happy to have him join us tonight. So, Jason, I mean, first, concerns for Jussie's safety. Do you think he's going to get Epsteined in jail?
No, I don't think he's going to get Epstein. I don't know whether to laugh or cry at this, Tucker. And I don't know if I can unpack all of my ideas and thoughts. But one, Jussie Smollett may be crazy like a fox. And I say that because he certainly has mental issues. What the judge said about his narcissism and a dark side to him, he certainly has it. But maybe that nutty display today was actually a play that he does these 150 days inside a psych ward or mental hospital where he thinks he'll be safer. But then on a more serious side and a more like down or my other thought that just ran through my mind, so many people from Jesse Jackson to the NAACP to so many people in the elite so-called civil rights movement, social justice movement, attach their credibility to that guy. A narcissist with a dark side who did something really heinous here, who clearly is starved for attention. They attach so much of their credibility to him. I felt like what we just saw from Jussie when his sentence was rendered was like that movement, the social justice warrior movement, the civil rights movement. Were these the death throes for Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, the NAACP? Because I'm just not sure how you attach your credibility to that guy. And he makes a clown out of himself and you. I don't know how you survive that.
What's interesting is that they leapt to his defense. He's not oppressed. He's the opposite of oppressed. He's a highly paid actor. He's a famous guy. You know, it's just interesting. Like, they identify with him. They think they're victims. The most powerful people in our society pose as victims. Here's one of the most powerful people in our society posing as a victim, and they're all over it, backing up his story. Like, what does this tell you?
Well, the judge pointed it out, I thought, brilliantly. I think he took 30, 40 minutes unpacking his decision here. And basically, like, Jussie Smollett comes from privilege, a great family that supported him tremendously. And that's why the judge, like, this is inexcusable. This isn't a crime of premeditation. This isn't a crime of opportunity. This is a crime of premeditation. You actually thought about this. And given your family background and history, that's really heinous that you thought about playing a game with a race crime when your family seems so invested in protecting people from race crimes. Tucker, I never promote my show, but people need to watch me tomorrow on Fearless with Jason Whitlock because I can't wait to unpack all of this. This was the craziest thing I've ever seen in a courtroom and on TV. I'm just blown away by the acting display and the nutty display from Jussie Smollett, and I feel sorry for all the idiots that leapt to his defense and were crying for mercy. This is a bad day for the grievance industrial complex.
It is. I wonder if his friend Kamala Harris has weighed in.
Toppled.
He what? It's unbelievable. I will say,
Jackson's statue was just toppled.
Jussie Smollett is committed to his craft as an actor. That's kind of impressive. Jason Whitlock, appreciate your coming on. We will watch Fearless tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some of the best footage that Fox News has ever taken of any people anywhere on planet Earth is the Ossendaro brothers walking through how they staged the hoax with Jussie Smollett. They did this for a special on Fox Nation. It's absolutely pitch perfect. Mwah! Chef kiss, watch.
They took our beautiful bench. This is where we waited for Jussie to come before we attacked him. So we got here with 10 minutes to spare, and we had to plan our escape route to survey the land. His building is actually right here, right above the stairs that we're going to attack him at. We made sure we got there at 2 a.m. sharp.
On the dot.
On the dot. We had no phones because he did not want us to bring any phones. He said, so we don't lose them. I don't know if that's really the reason, but you can deduce your own reason. So 2 a.m., he was nowhere to be found. He was not there. So we were like, damn, what do? We didn't have no way of contacting him. He had no way of contacting us. So we waited here for about, what, 4 minutes?
It was about 4
Roughly
minutes,
4 minutes.
but it felt like forever.
Because it was cold as balls. So I saw him out the corner of my eye, and I was like, okay, that's him. Let's go. We gotta go get this Empire fat. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Is that him?
That's that neck.
That's that neck.
Get that neck.
Oh, he's moving fast. Come on, let's get him.
Get that neck.
Let's get him. As we crossed the street, we said hey to get his attention.
Hey, Nick.
Hey! He turned around, looked at us, and that's when we started yelling the famous slurs he wanted us to yell. Hey!
Aren't you that Empire?
Hey, Empire fat Nick! It's MAGA country.
Yeah.
And then he said, what did you say to me? And then that's when I threw the first punch at him. I held the blow, because I didn't want to hurt him, of course, so I made it look real, but I held it. Then we started tussling, moving around, and then I threw him to the ground. He wanted it to look like he fought back. That was very important for him, because he said, hey, don't just beat my ass, make it look like I'm fighting back and whatnot. So we did that, and then I threw him to the ground, and after I threw him to the ground, he had no bruise. I wanted it to look more real. So then I threw him to the ground. After I threw him to the ground, I used my knuckle and gave him a noogie. So I went like this. Why did I do that? To give him a scar, to give him a mark, to make it look real, like he really did get his ass beat. After I did that, I fake kicked him. I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't paying attention.
That's where I came around with the bleach, the infamous bleach in the hot sauce bottle, poured it on his shirt. Then I finally put the rope around his face. I did not put it around his neck. I just placed it on his face, and that's when we took off.
We live in a broken world, and oftentimes the most evil and banal and wicked people escape justice. That's just what happens when you live inside of a broken system. But thankfully, this time, the person who deserves to be in prison will actually go to jail. Thank God. That's just one. We have a long way to go. Keep going. It's your boy Benny. Stay based. Jussie Smollett. See you in prison, buddy. Well, I won't see you. I'm on a road trip right now. See ya.